Welcome back, Patriots, to the Bald Brad Show. Heck, it is officially Wednesday. We're halfway, thank you, baby Jesus, through the week, meaning we are that much closer to Donald Trump getting in office on Monday and Joe Biden getting the hell out. Now, I was thinking right before I went live here, what are the odds that Joey puts up a fight? You know what I mean? He gets his spunk back in him, old corn pop. And he just starts swinging to the fences. I ain't leaving. I'm not getting out of here. You can't make me. And they're just pulling his lifeless body out of the White House. Joe, get out. We're done. We're done with you, Joe. We've been done with you for 4 years. We never wanted you in the first place. How you got in? Well, I think we all know how you got in. You did some foozery. Patriots, it's good to see you in the live chat. Greatly appreciate you. Danielle with the $20. Holy Lordy, we just went live. Thank you so much. We do have a goal over on YouTube, and any support would be greatly appreciated. It all goes back into the show. Again, I always say this, 100% of whatever we make through YouTube, through Rumble, through donations, goes directly back into the show. And if you notice, our subscriber count is going up. The reason why, as I promised you, everything we're doing is just going back into advertising. And that's just what we have to do because YouTube's shadow banning us. So I don't like doing it. But if we're going to get to 100,000 or close to it, we got to roll ads. So we're getting about 100 to 125 subscribers a day as of right now. So appreciate you. Thank you so much. That really does help. Shout out to everybody over at Rumble. How y'all doing? You're looking good. I see you. Well, the big news was yesterday, and I haven't seen any of it. So you're getting real-time reactions today. We got old Petey here. Petey beady fofeety. Well, Pete Hegseth had his confirmation hearing yesterday, and I heard on the rumor mill that Pete did really well. Now, I'm going to be the one to judge of that, but I'm sure all you thought he did fine because that's what everybody keeps telling me. Thank you, Karen, for saying, or Pat for saying, smash that like button. Thank you. If you're over at YouTube, smash that like button. It does help us. Well, there's a 3-minute dismantle here of Pete Hegseth going after the legacy media. All these clips I had today are quite lengthy. Not everything is about Pete Hegseth. I just want to be clear. But I pulled some stuff that made it on the news, which usually means it's pretty good. So here we go.
So from story after story in the media, left-wing media, we saw anonymous source after anonymous source based on second or third-hand accounts. And time again, stories would come out and people would reach out to me and say, I've spoken to this reporter about who you really are, and I was willing to go on the record. But they didn't print my quote. They didn't print any of my quotes. Or I've worked with you for 10 years, or I was your accountant, or I was your chief operating officer, or I was your board member, or I was with you on 100 different tour stops for Concerned Veterans for America. No one called me. No one asked about your conduct on the record or off the record. Instead, a small handful of anonymous sources were allowed to drive a smear campaign, an agenda about me, because our left-wing media in America today, sadly, doesn't care about the truth. All they were out to do, Mr. Chairman, was to destroy me. And why do they want to destroy me? Because I'm a change agent and a threat to them, because Donald Trump was willing to choose me, to empower me, to bring the Defense Department back to what it really should be,
That's right.
Which is warfighting. So I'm willing to endure these attacks. But what I will do is stand up for the truth and for my reputation. False attacks,
okay, Pete.
Anonymous attacks, repeated ad nauseum, printed as nauseum, as facts. We have provided to the committee, Mr. Chairman, and I know you're going to share, on-the-record statement after on-the-record statement from people who have served with me, worked with me at Fox News, Concerned Vets, Vets for Freedom, you name it, from the top of the chain to the bottom, who will say, I treat them with respect, with kindness, with dignity. That's men, that's women, that's black, that's white, that's every background. I have prided myself as a leader of respecting people, being professional.
Nice job, Pete. Look, calm. He seems to be collective, which is what you want to see from a SecDef. And he's not wrong. I mean, look, everybody can see it that has a half of a brain. Just one brain cell, you could see that these journalists aren't journalists anymore. They're activist journalists. In the same way, there's teachers out there that are activist teachers, where the activism comes first, said career path or whatever your job is, that comes second. You have a narrative to push. Now here on the Bald Brad Show, I'm open about what my agenda is. My agenda is to call out the hypocrisy of the legacy media, the Democrat Party, and the progressive left, and to push a conservative agenda, meaning inherently I'm open about my bias. If you're in here and you're a Democrat, well, welcome, but I'm probably going to say a lot of things you don't like, and I'm probably going to smack you around a lot because I want you to wake up. It's no different than me smacking you and shaking you. Somebody got to rattle your can for you to wake up to what the hell you've been doing for the last however long. So Pete Hegseth right there laying down the law and saying, look, nobody's calling my accountant. Nobody's calling anybody that's close to me. They're just calling these nameless, faceless, shadowy figures allegedly out there and just using anonymous sources. I get that some sources want to be anonymous, but you know, why don't you call the people around him that actually know the guy? Like, I don't know, maybe Dan Bongino, the people at Fox News that are with him every single day for over a decade. Don't want to talk to them because they'll give you the truth, and the truth is going to go against your narrative. And then what story do you have? You don't have a story. So you have to find some homeless dude that Pete wouldn't give $5 because he didn't have it in his wallet, complaining about Pete Hegseth and making up a whole bunch of crap. You'll go with that anonymous source. But, well, we know how the legacy media is at the end of the day. If you're just joining us, folks, hit that like button. It really does support us. It helps tremendously. We also have a, I guess, a coffee can, a goal, however you want to call it. If you're passing by, just throw a little bit of doozy boppity boop. There you go, Andrea. Thanks, Brad, for all you do. No, thank you for always joining us, and thank you tremendously for donating $2 to the Bald Brad Show. We're reaching our goal of 5 super chats. We're keeping it to the minimum, but I really do appreciate you guys. That really does help greatly. I don't ever want to be one of those creators or influencers, which I hate that phrase. You guys work hard for that money, and so I want to make sure that I really do highlight that, and you can feel that I am thankful for it. Even $1, $2, $20, $50, $100, no matter what it is, it's your hard-earned money, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. We also have this here, talking points. Democrats, assemble! And what were they doing? They were going after Pete Hegseth pretty hard. We all knew this was going to happen, right? All of a sudden, they grew some testes, and they wanted to, get into the mix a little bit. And I have not seen the clip itself, but I did see a bunch of lefty women on TikTok all ecstatic that these Democrat women were going after Pete Hegseth yesterday.
DOD's 2023 demographic report indicated that there are more women serving now, and there are fewer separations. So they make up a critical part of our military. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, ma'am. Women in our military, as I have said publicly, have and continue to make amazing contributions across all aspects of our battlefield.
Well, you also write in your book, The War on Warriors, with the chapter, The Deadly Obsession with Women Warriors, that, quote, not only are women comparatively less effective than men in combat roles, but they are more likely to be objectified by the enemy and their own nation in the moral realms of war. Mr. Hegseth, should we take it to believe that you believe that the 2 women on this committee who have served honorably and with distinction made our military less effective and less capable?
I'm incredibly...
I would say yes. To some regard, yes. Now, I never served. Like, Brad, you pussy, how could you say that? Folks, I'm not saying women can't be in the military. But what I am saying is, and maybe he'll address this, hell, I don't know. Somebody needs to call out the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about a Democrat. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to get in trouble. Women, if they want to be in the military and you're meeting all the standards that men have to do, by all means, be in the military. If you can't do all the physical and rigorous stuff that the men have to do because it's freaking combat, then no, you shouldn't be in the front line storming the beaches of Normandy, if you know what I'm saying. So I hope he addresses this because that's really what the heart of what he's kind of been talking about in his book. And she's making it seem like, oh, you just don't want women in the military. That's not what Pete wants. That's not true at all. So I hope he brings it up.
Grateful for the two women who've served our military in uniform, and including in the Central Intelligence Agency, contributions on the battlefield, indispensable contributions. Senator, I would like to clarify, when I'm talking about that issue,
Here we go.
It's not about the capabilities of men and women, it's about standards. And this committee has talked a lot about standards. Standards that we, unfortunately, over time, have seen eroded in certain duty positions, certain schools, certain places, which affects readiness, which is what I care about the most, readiness on the battlefield.
I appreciate that.
And so my comments point time and time again to standards.
Your statements publicly have not been to that effect. After your nomination, you did state to a group of reporters that you, quote, support all women serving in our military today who do a fantastic job across the globe, including combat. So what I'm confused about, Mr. Hegseth,
You're very confused.
Which is it? Why should women in our military, if you were the Secretary of Defense, believe that they would have a fair shot and an equal opportunity to rise through the ranks? If on the one hand, you say that women are not competent, they make our military less effective, and on the other hand, you say, oh no, now that I've been nominated to be the Secretary of Defense, I've changed my view on women in the military. What do you have to say to the almost 400,000 women who are serving today?
Do you see how stupid these people are? We just got done talking about this yesterday. They're not able to make connections. I guess we've been talking about it for 4 years. Not capable of making connections. If you're not able to see, because there's one Democrat that weasels their way in here. Pete doesn't mind having women in the military. Neither do I. There's women that are extremely smart, and we need the capacity of that intelligence to help us win wars. What I am saying is, you need to have standards for the battlefield. If you can't do the push-ups, if you can't do the mileage, if you can't do certain physical activities to the same standards of men, then you probably shouldn't be in the military. And guess what? Since it's a standard, it's held to men too, you freaking idiot Democrats. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. There's some freaking burly ass women out there, I hate to tell you, that can kick my ass. Yeah, go storm the battlefield. That's fine. Most are not. Most are not. I hate to say it. Women are usually petite. They're tiny. It's just nature. There's other places for them in the military. We're just saying, hey, there's a standard. When I'm storming the beaches with them, if there's a draft or something, I want to make sure that the lady next to me met the same standard as I did so that I can actually have trust in whatever she is going to do. It's not that difficult. It's not degrading women by any means. If you want to go in the military, there's a lot of avenues and aspects of where you could serve in the military without meeting those standards. You know, you can go on a desk job or something, or intelligence. You're smart. Like, it's not like, there's people that don't pass the ASVAB very well. They're usually like infantry or something. You know, they just didn't spend a lot of time learning. You know, they're still freaking burly and you want them to cover your ass. I'm not trying to degrade anybody here.
About your position
I didn't do well in the ASVAB in high school.
on whether they should be capable to rise through the highest ranks of our military.
Senator, I would say I would be honored to have the opportunity to serve alongside you, shoulder to shoulder, men and women, black, white, all backgrounds, with a shared purpose. Our differences are not what define us. Our unity and our shared purpose is what define us, and you will be treated fairly and with dignity, honor, and respect, just like every man and woman in uniform, just like the men and women that I've worked with in my veterans organizations, to include when I was a headquarters and headquarters company commander in the Minnesota National Guard.
Well, I appreciate your 11th hour conversion, but Mr. Chairman, for the record, I would like to submit Chapter 5, The Deadly Obsession with Women Warriors, for the record.
Great piece. Great piece, Pete. You know, what Pete should have said is, hey, can I sign it for you right before you put it in the record? Because it's a phenomenal chapter. I would say, Pete, throw that chapter at the beginning and you're good. He is not wrong. And I don't know why Democrats are playing stupid. Not really sure. There is a difference between men and women. I thought Pete actually didn't go harsher on it. He should have. Again, I'm just going to be clear here. I don't mind women being in the military. Israeli women serve in the military too. But if you're lowering the standards, which again, our military has done, that is not a good thing for anybody. And by the way, that standard goes for men. There's a lot of men that don't pass the standard either. So guess what? Well, sorry, desk job or something else for you. You're going to be a typewriter. You guys, I wouldn't be able to pass the standards in the military. I have a terrible shoulder. If I was ever called into a draft, I would not be going and storming the beaches unless they were like really needed men. I would get a desk job. I think I'd be F1 status or something because I have an injury. Unless the military wants to pay for it and completely fix it, there ain't nothing I can do. I ain't throwing you over my shoulder. It just ain't happening. Now, I'm not exactly a small guy, but still, you get what I'm saying. Meaning, those standards apply to me. I should not be on the battlefield because I wouldn't be able to carry you over my shoulder. I wouldn't even be able to drag your ass out of that battlefield. So, it applies to them, it applies to me. And you don't see me going, shut up. Can you imagine? Hold on. I want to go back to this really quick. Can you imagine Pete serving shoulder to shoulder? storming the beaches. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure you are. So this one was the one I heard people talking about and wanted the reaction on. I guess there was a mic drop moment during the hearing, and this was it. Like, this is the one everybody was wanting to kind of clip. Because that's all I saw yesterday. I didn't see the clip, but I just saw everybody talking about it. Where I guess Elizabeth Warren attempted to smear with just 4 words, and Pete came back and just, I guess, rattled her cage, man. So let's see. I got it right here. Let's do it.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. In other words,
yo, Pete. Yo, hold on. Where is it? Fuck. Look at this face. Look at the. Look. You gotta be shitting me. There's no greater screen grab. This should have been my thumbnail. Oh, folks. I'm basking in this. I'm taking my time with this one, okay? There is no better screen grab. Yeah, that was epic. I didn't even see this guy. Look at this guy, right? I mean, I didn't see him when I was playing it. I saw it after on the screen grab, but look at this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Ah, shit. Hold on. I took a screenshot of it. It's too good. I have to. Perfect. We're going to frame it. Where should I put it? God, that's good. I'm playing it again. It's that good. People are right. I see why they were clipping it yesterday.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the general.
Everybody's laughing. Oh, there he is. Oh, fucking God, please get me out of here. Why do I have to sit next to her? You're not willing to make that same pledge? That made my day. No, seriously. I'm good now. We should just end the show here. That was great. Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to do another video on that later. Oh, Pete, you savage. Now, we also have a senator here making a very good point. I will. Yes, Karen. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I absolutely will make a short on that video later today when I get home. Senator blows up Hegseth's committee hearing, tells senators they're not qualified to judge. I think this was the one where people were saying that he tells them to look into the mirror for a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of finger wagging. Things got a little bit spicy yesterday. And I know this senator tends to, take off the gloves a little bit, wants to do a little bit of street fighting. This dude tried to fight somebody one time. I like the spunk.
Some advice from
I
my second in command.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications. And I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it. I Googled it and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense...
I want to spotlight something that you all can't see, and it kind of piggyback? You know what I mean? On what he's saying here. You see what I'm covering right here? You see that? That's the California fires. And talk about qualifications of not capable to lead. Yes, Democrats, that's all of you idiots in California. Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom. See the states on fire. Yeah, Los Angeles, big county, on fire. Yeah, Democrats, So you're going to say Pete Hegseth doesn't have the qualifications. If you want to see what not having the qualifications looks like, just go visit Los Angeles. Case made.
Position is filled by a civilian. That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because a man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake.
Wow.
Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too.
That's deep.
I have changed.
Damn, that's
but
really
I'm not
deep.
perfect. But I found somebody that thought I was perfect. And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you. So
damn. You know, I'm glad. I was gonna end that at him calling the Democrats out, but I'm glad I really played that, because I think there's a deeper message there for everybody is, forgiveness. People are sinful and make irrational decisions and are stupid. And I'm not saying Pete's stupid, but the decisions he's made sometimes are stupid. You might go, well, Brad, doesn't that involve decision making through the Secretary of Defense? Yes. And you know what? When you have Lloyd Austin that has made a series of bad decisions, where's the accountability there then for them? So people are gonna make bad decisions, and that's what happens when you put in leadership. They're not going to be the best of the best always. What I mean by that, they're not going to make 100% of good decisions. There's going to be some bad decisions in there. So, forgiveness. Thanks, George. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Again, I wouldn't ask you to do it if it didn't do anything. It actually really does help us. So some people said, hey, look, the Republicans are going to vote for this guy. They're going to get him in. So I'm hearing that confirmation should happen.
100%. I don't think there's any way anybody can vote against him, even some of the ones that said, oh, I've got doubts about this. And if they were truthful with themselves, Maria, the Democrats would vote for this guy because he's well qualified. He's young. We need somebody that's not a general, that's actually pretty much a drill sergeant, that's going to be out there with the troops, understanding what they go through when they go to war. Hey, he's been to Afghanistan and Iraq twice. 2 Bronze Stars, and they tried to make fun of this guy. Sure, he had some problems in his past. Those are over with. His wife was with him. He had a lot of supporters there. There's
strong
no
wife,
way
man.
Anybody should vote against Pete Hegseth.
Very strong wife. Brad, you said women can't be in the military. They can be in the military. Women are strong. I'm not saying they're not. I've even said on a physical level, some of them can kick my you-know-what. Hey, you pass all the standards, go at it, go crazy. The problem is they're not passing it, and they had to lower the standards so that they could pass it. That's the problem, and I don't like that. We also have our boy here on CNN just speaking the truth. Scott Jennings is speaking the truth.
In short, I think Pete Hegseth kicked their asses today. I mean, it wasn't even close. They didn't lay a glove on Hegseth. No mistakes, calm, cool, collected. I mean, before the thing even started, you had this Code Pink, protester freak show trying to disrupt the hearing. That's the Democratic base, by the way, which probably explains why the Democrats on the committee acted in such a bizarre and unprofessional way. I was appalled at some of the way these senators handled themselves and some of the lines of questioning. I mean, Tim Kaine sounded like a sex pervert in his questioning of Pete Hegseth. Blumenthal, who lied about his service in Vietnam, questioning Hegseth's qualifications. You had Gillibrand, you had Warren, you had Hirono going on unhinged rants about things. Angus King obviously doesn't understand what it's like to fight terrorism. On and on and on. Hegseth was cool in the face of this unhinged questioning. They made him look good today. It would be difficult for a Republican to vote against Hegseth after the Democrats' unseemly mudslinging today. Well,
Scott, simmer down. You're the only reason people are watching CNN right now. I love it. I freaking love it. Now, there was this woman on the Democrat side of the aisle right here that I did see yesterday. This one I did see because I actually commented on it, where she's going on about the fact that Hegseth was never an auditor. Now, the Democrats love to say things like, well, you're not an auditor, so you can't have an opinion on it. Well, in this case, I was a fucking auditor, and I do have an opinion on it. So here we go.
Have you led an audit of any organization? Yes or no?
I have.
I don't want a long answer. Yes or no? Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or no? Did you lead an audit?
And the way
yes
my
or no?
has
Did you lead an audit?
stated
Yes or no? What are you afraid of? You can't answer this question. Yes or no? Did you lead an audit? Do you not know this answer?
Senator,
she's an idiot. This, I really do mean, guys, please understand, I don't just call everybody idiots. I don't. This is a dum-dum, big dum-dum.
Yes or no?
Part of my leadership of these organizations has been misrepresented.
I will take that as a no. What were the findings? So there were no findings because you've never led an audit. What guidance did you give the auditors? None, because you've never led an audit. Nobody expects you to be an accountant, Mr. Hegseth. What we expect is for you to understand the complexity of this Pentagon budget process that is absolutely necessary to outfit our warfighters.
You guys, this here? Where is this for the past 7 consecutive failed audits, bitch? Yeah, I'm saying that. Where are you then? Where are you talking to Lloyd Austin right now? Hello? And by the way, you want to know how stupid this is? The vast majority of people work for a company. And usually companies in some way, shape, or form have to be audited. If you want to take out a loan, the bank's going to want to make sure your financials are in order. So that's going to kick out an audit. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It's just in order to get the loan, they want to make sure that you'll be able to pay it back. Or if you're a public entity, you got to be audited. Your pensions might have to be audited every so often, depending on how many people you have employed. I used to do this. You do not have to know, honestly, anything really at all about auditing. You just need to know how to report the things that's required by your said job. So I don't know why she's going on of, well, you need to figure out and know the process of how the budget works so that you can outfit our soldiers. Lady, Joe Biden left billions of dollars of military grade equipment to the fucking enemy. And I'm cussing right now, yes, because I'm tired of this. Republicans do it too. But I'm tired of this, and it's a stupid argument. I'll let you guys know if a Democrat brings up a good argument. You guys know I'm always willing to do that. I go, yeah, it makes a good point. There is no point here. Just you're melting down over absolutely nothing. Well, you're not an auditor. Who cares? Can the guy train our forces to win in a war? That's what I care about. Because guess what? If we lose against Russia or China, you ain't going to like your life no more. And I think a lot of times Americans are a little bit too comfortable with the lifestyle they live, not knowing that there's some real evil out there that wants to do heinous things to you. But because we don't teach history anymore the way that we're supposed to in the education system, we're completely oblivious to the atrocities that have gone on. You guys want to know a crazy stat? Google this right now. I forgot what the exact number is, but it's upwards of like, I think it's 64% of 18 to 34-year-olds or something have no idea the Holocaust happened. Do you guys, I'm gonna say that again. I'll actually, while I'm doing the next article or the next bit, I'll double check that number. But it is a number out there of, I think it's like 60 something percent of 18 to 34, 35-year-olds have no idea that the Holocaust ever even took place. Want to know why? Because they don't teach this stuff in the education system. And if they do, it's so pared down, it's so like rated G that the atrocities that have been done, they're like, oh, okay. Like, some people were thrown in the gas chamber, millions of people died. When I say that these kids don't care when you say things like that, there's no reaction to them. There's no like, oh my God, like what? What do you mean millions of people died? We're like, yeah, Mao killed like 65 million people, 40 to 65. There's a range that people really aren't that sure. It's just millions. There's no care in the world. And if you think I'm joking in the slightest, ask any history teacher, ask anybody that teaches government, ask majority of teachers. Just, there's no reaction. Just like, oh, like what? Like experimenting on children and twins and like people walking around with missing limbs and eyes and no gas chamber clawing their way out. Like you could show them pictures, but they don't because parents lose it. They go, oh, how could you show my son or daughter that? Because maybe it will elicit some sort of reaction so that we don't go down that same path. But if you don't ever learn about it in the first place, history will repeat itself. Robert Morris, thank you. Robert's always in here. Appreciate you, Robert, for the $5 over at YouTube. We just need 2 more to meet our target, to meet our goal. Greatly appreciate you guys. It does help tremendously. Well, we're about to get into some illegal immigration stuff, speaking about money, speaking about not teaching things, speaking about not knowing anything. We're about to jump into that in just one moment, but I want to make sure that we spotlight one of our sponsors as well, and that's going to be 5G Free. I want to talk about things that people are afraid to say out loud, and who is in control of America's nukes? It's not Biden. That dude ain't even in control of his bowels. Meanwhile, we have Russia ships off the coast of Florida and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. The world is at its most unstable point, probably since World War II, and with nuclear weapons. The stakes are 10 times higher. How do you like and how do you feel safe, folks? How do you people stay safe? Every prepper needs a Radio Guard Ace. We've covered them before. We've talked about them before, and they've sponsored us before. The only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds had it until now. That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, the only company, it's the only company in the world that has a supply of Radio Guard Ace and the ability to prescribe it basically to anybody. Get their radiation emergency kit with Radio Guard Ace, potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter. There's simply no other tool in the arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat. Go to 5gfree.com, use code STUDIO to save 15% and get your radiation kit now. It's a good thing to have in the arsenal. Hopefully we don't need it, but you got to be prepared for this stuff. And especially when your country's being invaded. So as Trump 2.0 approaches, NGOs, nonprofits, these government organizations continue to fund mass migration with U.S. tax dollars. I've really kicked, I don't know how much more. I've been covering this for 4 years and I always have an opinion on it. But it's like, at what point does your opinion you're done? Like, what do you say after 4 years of covering this every week? What do you have more to say, Brad? Well, we'll find out here. The large organized constellation of United Nations and non-governmental organization agencies sees a rosy future for itself, even under Donald Trump, having already directed billions of mostly U.S. taxpayer dollars into supporting millions of illegal southern border crossings trips during President Joe Biden's term. This is why we need Doge, perhaps in part to keep the migratory pressure on America's southern border using taxpayer money as Trump mounts a planned border crackdown this year. So you know all that crap, the crap roads that we drive on, everything, just our infrastructure's collapsing. Your kid can't get a quality education. Oh God, I mean the list goes on, right? You're struggling paying your own bills. Grocery prices are going through the roof. You're struggling getting gas, whatever it is. Yeah, at least some of this stuff could be attributed to what's going on here with illegal immigrants, because you got 25 million of them in your country. Isn't it amazing that Kamala Harris won in every state that she won? Like, what I mean by won, like won in those states, is that they were all, you don't have to show ID states. Isn't that interesting? I'm not saying that was a cause and effect, but there definitely is an association between that. That's for damn sure. The UN organized a conglomerate recently released in 2025, Regional Refugee and Migrant Response Plan. Oh, okay. Which is a budget needs analysis for Latin America migration support developed during the U.S. presidential campaign, but recognizes in its published iteration that Trump was reelected. Oh, here we go. Wow. This is what we got here. The document calls for maintaining spending levels as high as when a mass migration torrent was at full throttle in recent years. Look at this number. Look at this number. I can't even say it. It wants $1.4 billion to support, I'm getting dizzy, 2.3 million foreign nationals from throughout the world who will be on the move toward the United Southern border through 17 Latin American countries. Remember, if they are truly fleeing some sort of persecution or something, and they're going to pass through 17 countries, why not just go to one of those 17? Why do you have to come here? Why? Because it's the greatest place ever. And 1.2 billion in 2026, that's down. Oh, that's down. I thought it was up. No, it's down from 1.6 billion last year in 2024, and the 1.72 billion. Just throwing billions of dollars at this. Billions of dollars. We can't even get $3 billion to build a border wall. It's too much money. We don't know what to do. And what does the media do? They lie about it. The media lie about everything. And that's why I think podcasters and small channels that aren't beholden to the corporation, I think that's why they're doing so well. And I think, hand to God, that's why we're growing here on the Bald Brad Show, whether it's over at Rumble, Twitter, or YouTube, is because we just bring the truth. I'm not here. I'm not beholden to anybody. I love you, Patriots, but there's things I've said in the past that you don't agree with. But hey, you know, Things move forward. Things go on. We still get along here as a family. Thank you so much, George. Well, we met our goal. Heck yeah. Folks, it's the first time we've met our goal. Oh, that might have messed with the audio. Thank you so much. So we got Q coming in with the $5. Thank you so much, Q. Greatly appreciate you. And thank you for all the legal stuff you've been helping us with in terms of answering questions for the legality of how things function and work. Thank you. So Q with the $5. We got Robert Morris becoming and joining the Bald Brad Army. Thank you so much, sir. And then we got George coming out. I wouldn't know I was awake every morning unless Brad told me. You know, can you send that message to Joe too? That would be great because someone needs to tell Joe to wake up. Thank you, George. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And by the way, you got a good sense of humor. And I'm not just trying to kiss your ass. It really is true. I appreciate your sense of humor. Smart ass. He knows. I don't even know George, but he knows it. George knows it. And it's not a rude thing to say. It's a guy's guy telling another guy, hey, a little smart ass. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. I mean, yeah, bravo to Brad supporters. Thank you. You guys make this show quite literally basically happen. I quit watching the mainstream media years ago. Hell yeah, Brock. Love that. As did I. Well, speaking, I guess, Brock, of the mainstream media and them not being able to figure it out or get viewership here, MSNBC out as ratings plunge. The head of MSNBC is gone. And I guarantee you they are baffled. I guarantee you they can't figure it out. Going, what happened? Where did we go wrong? How about that you guys never tell the truth? And that when you do, it's extremely rare and the truth is buried by a bunch of lies that you previously told. And here's the kicker. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You lied so often that even if you told us the truth to our face, we're still probably not going to believe you and we're going to question it. And when you do tell the truth, it's actually main news for us going, wow, they actually said something that was truthful. That's all people want. People don't want to be BS to their face. They don't want to be told that they're stupid because they're not. And they just want the truth. That's all people want. People seek after the truth. And there was a great quote by Jordan B. Peterson. Remember when he was on that Channel 4 news website, I think with that British chick? And she's like, so you're telling me, so you're trying to say this? And she's trying to basically be a bee. And he said, you have to be willing to offend people and make them feel uncomfortable when you're trying to seek after truth. And that 100% is true. You're going to offend people when you speak the truth. And you know what? If you're offended, that's on you. And if you're offended by the thing that you're watching, then guess what? I know we told our kids this back in the day, right? Hey, if you're offended by the television, then don't watch it. If you're offended by the podcaster or what said news thing, then don't watch it. It's that easy. As the ratings have tanked after the election of Donald Trump, the woman who ran the hard left network throughout most of all of Biden's administration has resigned. Her name's Rashida Jones, rose through the company from her position supervising daytime and weekend news programming. She oversaw the hiring of former White House press secretary Jen Psaki. Terrible. Just a terrible pick. What are you thinking? What is she thinking? What the fuck? I was wondering. Oh, get a little teary-eyed. I was wondering who hired her. The truth will come out. Yeah. It was her. Found her. I mean, she's pretty. She's pretty, but deceiving. Pretty, but crazy. Guys, don't fall for this. Ladies, one sec. I got to talk to the boys really quick. Don't fall for this. All right? You're attracted. That's great. Your life will be a living hell. These looks will fade, and God, you're gonna be, man, I used to listen to a bald guy on the internet. He told me not to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Pat, I see you over there. I see you, Pat, with the $5 over. We're exploding through our goal. We're exploding. Just came in to drop a super chat, making a difference in the world, Brad. Bald Brad Armstrong. Thank you, Pat. Big time supporter. Has the shirts, has the mug, even has a freaking Bald Brad Show sticker on the back of his truck. Hell yeah, baby. Well, anyways, I don't think we need to go through this, but basically their ratings are plummeting. And when I mean plummeting, You know that show Nick at Night that we all used to watch? Like everyone's asleep. Nick at Night gets better ratings than MSNBC, DNC. Nick at Night. People are sleeping and it's better ratings. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Let's see, what else can we get to? I want to show this a little bit here because Karen Bass says she regrets taking African trip amid fire dangers. It's just taken her 2 weeks. Now it's been a little bit less than 2 weeks, but it's roughly, we can round. We can do some rounding. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass signaled this week that she regrets taking her trip to Ghana despite her city being at risk of wildfires at the time due to the powerful Santa Ana winds and dry conditions. Why were you in Ghana anyways? You're a mayor. She was there for some bogus thing. It wasn't like she was on vacation, folks. Bass was asked by a reporter at the end of a press conference on Tuesday about the trip. Looking back, would you have taken the trip overseas? Bass responded, I'm going to focus today on what we... Is there a clip here? I got to read this crap. Damn it. Hold on a second. Looking back, would you have taken the trip? I'm going to focus today on what we... When the reporter started to push back, Bass responded bluntly by throwing her hands up, declaring no, and walking away. Wait a minute, did I read that wrong? Oh, okay, no, we're good. All right, it's morning, forgive me. Haven't had all my coffee yet. So that was it. I don't know if that's actually a regret. What I mean by that is, the question was, hey, you know what, would you have done this again? She just said no. I still have not seen like an apology, like, hey, you know what? I screwed up. Honestly, that was my bad. There was no fire when I left, but you're right. It was fire season. I should have stayed here. I'm going to take a hit on that one, because the reason why I say that is as long as you're limiting the amount of mistakes that you're doing, Americans are pretty forgiving. And I'll give you a case in point on a Republican side that did the same thing. Ted Cruz did the exact same thing, except Ted didn't leave before there was a disaster. Ted left during one. And you know what? He said, hey, I effed up. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Oops. And I said, you know what? Ted doesn't screw up that much. And by the way, Ted has done a lot more than Karen Bass has for this country. That's for damn sure. Read his book, One Vote Away, and you're going to see how your rights stayed in place because of that guy. I got a lot of respect for Ted Cruz. He's allowed to mess up a little bit more than one time in my books based on what he's done for this country. Karen Bass hasn't done anything other than push freaking leftist policies and crippling Los Angeles as well. I think she used to be like the mayor, or not mayor, the city council person for like Compton or something. I can't even remember. A while ago. She sucks. That's all you need to know. She sucks. If I had to summarize it, she sucks. And then when you go and speak truth, like Julia Roberts, no, there is no relation. That is my last name. No relation. I tell people that though. I'm related to her. I might be actually. I don't know. I've never asked. Well, she comes out and torches Karen Bass. So she says here, where is it? There's so much healing and help needed, Roberts wrote. We will get through this. F you looters. To donate and have a direct impact, please visit the link in my bio. So it was the line F you looters. So if you guys weren't aware, they evacuate certain areas, like massive amount of neighborhoods. They just evacuate you. And then what's happening is, because California has a bunch of losers in it, they go and loot your house that you're not in. So you get evacuated. There's not even a fire, and your house gets looted when you come back. Oh, goody. Yep. And cops aren't going to do anything. They're not even funding the fire. The fire department in LA is only funded up to 50%, just to let you know, 50. A lot of this news is not being covered correctly. The fire department's not being actually funded. The police department can't find people because they want to defund the police. And why the hell would you want to become a police officer when people are just walking up to your freaking squad car and blowing your head off, which is happening, by the way, or you're being completely treated wrongly, or you arrest somebody and then you go, oh, sorry, we have no cash bail. Oh yeah, no, you could just go. No consequences, but there's consequences for the police officer that shoots a guy that's shooting at him. So you kill a guy that's trying to kill you. Well, nothing happens to that guy that tried to kill you, but you get thrown away for however long. Why would you want to become a cop in this state? I sure the hell wouldn't. You don't get any backing. I'll back you. If you're a cop and I see you, I will buy your meal and I will buy you a cup of coffee. It's at like Starbucks or something. I always do that. I walk up, I shake their hand and say, hey, both my father was a cop. My grandfather was a cop. I would love to just buy you a cup of coffee. Normally the times they say no, but I really insist on it. So that's what I do. If you could do that for a cop or a veteran or something, folks, that, you know, if you got the means, you know, support those guys because they need it. They're not getting it from anybody else. So that was what got her in trouble. The FU looters is what got her in trouble. That seemed to get everyone's attention, with many on social media pointing out that the movie star has fundraised for Democrats who have supported things like defund the police and soft on crime DAs who refuse to punish looters. Black Lives Matter. So Robbie Starbuck, who's kind of a known creator, Julia is a big supporter of California Democrats and recently urged wives of male Trump voters to secretly vote for Kamala Harris. The same California Dems she supported are the ones who made looting so easy for so long. At some point, she needs to direct her comments to her mirror. Correct. Yes, she's still not wrong for saying this, though. I agree with the hypocrisy here. And I agree with the lack of communication of her brain being able to communicate with herself. 100% agree with you, Robbie. I'm just saying, like, hey, you know, they're not going to wake up. Their house is burned down. They're still going to vote Democrat. Another person added, no one's home should be looted. Also, people like Julia Roberts supported the policies that created this mess, only getting mad when it starts to affect them instead of inner city Walgreens, and is pretty scummy. Yes. Been preaching about this for years. Somebody that lives in California, near LA. A third person wrote, she voted for all of it. The thieves, the fires, the destruction, her signature is all over it. I'm finding it difficult to sympathize. And I've been getting a lot of comments about this. People saying it's difficult to sympathize. I totally get it. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, these are still people that lost everything. And not all of them are millionaires. Not all of them are celebrities. You got to understand that the vast majority of them are not. They're just people that got houses handed down to them, or when they bought the house 80 years ago, it wasn't worth millions of dollars and they just got lucky. So please understand this. Some of these people are Republicans. Some of these people are having a tough time. Not everybody are Democrats. Well, a fourth person noted, Julia Roberts says, F you looters, as $10 million homes continue to be robbed during LA fires. Question, Julia, why is looting unacceptable but now, but in the name of George Floyd, y'all were cool with it? I got no qualms with the pushback. I'm just surprised that, I'm just surprised that it happened. That's all. Surprised that it happened. Well, folks, we're going to end a tiny bit early. I got to hurry and get dressed for work. I do have meetings. If you're unaware, Wednesdays, usually we try to keep the show shorter than this. I really wanted to be done not 20 minutes ago because I have work meetings in the morning. I got to make sure I get on time too, because I take my job serious. I got to be there on time. But I want to really thank everybody that is a subscriber over at Rumble, because that's a join tab. So if you wanted to subscribe over at Rumble, they do the join tab through Locals. Locals is working. So if you want to screw YouTube and go to Rumble, you can. I see both chats on my screen. And then YouTube, I just want to give a shout out to everybody again that donated today. Greatly appreciate you. We're able to keep our goal and actually keep it going. I'm trying to pull it up, but the internet doesn't like me. Let's do this. I want to make sure I give everybody a shout out here. Give me 1 second. All right. So it was Danielle with $20. Thank you. Andrea with $2. Thank you. Robert with the $5, as well as Robert with becoming a member to the Bald Brad Army, which now he has a freaking cool ass badge. So don't tread on me badge. Q with the $5. Again, Robert with the 5. George with the 10. Thank you. Pat with the 5. Appreciate you guys. It's the first time we ever met our goal and exceeded it. So that helps tremendously. I can't tell you how much actually that helps. So with that being said, head over to baldbrad.com if you're looking for merchandise. We got shirts with cool logos. On the back, we got all sorts of stuff, a book, great gift ideas for people. Really appreciate all of you choosing my podcast and my morning show for probably the first show you're hearing this morning. I hope all of you have a lovely day. We'll be back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we'll also be live Monday, Inauguration Day, baby. A lot of you have been asking, sending me emails. I will be live. I promise. I'll be live all day. We'll be having fun together. With that being said, take care of one another. Love you guys. Keep saying take care. I got nothing else for you. I'm out. Peace. Bye, Patriots.